When it comes to hot pepper, the pests and diseases are divided into 4 groups: insects, fungi, bacteria, and viruses. And in each of these groups, treatment for your hot pepper varies. We will look at each in details on this channel. Remember to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. The pepper weevil, scientifically known as Anthracis eugeni. It is one of the most destructive insect pests on peppers. This insect will only lay eggs and feed on plants in the solanaceous family, including weed species such as black and silver leaf nightshades and horse nettle. All commercial pepper varieties currently available are susceptible to pepper weevil damage. The body of the adult pepper weevil is about an 1/8 inch long, arched, dark in color with a brassy luster, and has a long snout break. Its larvae are white to gray in color with yellowish brown heads and are quite an inch long. When fully grown, pupa resemble adults with no wings and are initially white, becoming yellowish with brown eyes. This is how pepper weevil damages your pepper. Females lay eggs in small fruit and flowers, most often in the upper canopy. The process of egg laying punctures the fruit and flower, causing oviposition wart on fruit. The larvae that hatches from the eggs feed on the flower buds and on internal fruit tissue. Adult weevils make exit holes in the walls of the fruit when they emerge. Adult weevils also feed on fruit and flower buds. Feeding causes flowers and young fruit to abort and prematurely drop. How will you know you have pepper weevil infestation? When you see several dropped fruit as the base of a plant, if fruit continues to develop, it will be deformed. On large fruit, larvae feed on the inner core and fruit walls. The infested fruit may show no external symptoms other than the puncture wounds made during egg laying. The calyx and stems of infested fruit may turn yellow, and the inner core can become brown and moldy. If no flowers or fruit are present, adults can feed on stems and leaves, but this rarely causes major damage to the plant. Let's look at the pepper weevil life cycle. Pepper weevils are tropical insects, and they can survive winters on crab and weed host plants. Pepper weevils do not have a diapause phase, a hibernation-like state where they stop developing during periods of adverse conditions. During periods of fallow, pepper weevils survive on weed species such as black nightshade and silver leaf nightshade. When it comes to the areas where the winters are too cold, the insects can be brought in on pepper fruit or transplants grown in locations where weevils are present. Flying adults are the primary means for the spread of pepper weevils from field to field once they have been introduced to an area. But how can you get rid of pepper weevils or manage them if they are already in your garden? Pepper weevils are difficult to manage once an infestation is established and larvae are present inside the fruit. You can do 1, 2, or more of these things below. 1. A combination of pest exclusion scouting, sanitation, and insecticide applications to minimize yield losses. 2. In areas where pepper weevils can overwinter, field sanitation, weed management, and crop rotation can help. Then 3. If possible, avoid planting peppers within 1.5 miles of other solanaceous crops, such as eggplant. 4. In areas where pepper weevils do not usually overwinter, avoid planting near pepper packing or processing facilities. Inspect transplants for evidence of weevil infestation and avoid transplants produced in areas where weevils are commonly present. 5. During the season, remove and destroy any fallen fruit, control nightshade, and other solanaceous weeds in and around the planting. Then 6. After final harvest, promptly remove fruit from the field and destroy cull piles. Shred and disc pepper residue in the field as soon as possible. Those are some of the ways you can counteract this weevil if it's in your plantation. But also we in the previous interviews we did with some of our pepper farmers here in Uganda, they spoke more about how you can fight this. If you could find those videos back, they're in Uganda with subtitles written in English down on the videos. Let's continue. Let's talk about scouting. We've mentioned scouting in some of our previous videos, and I've also mentioned scouting in this current video. But when it comes to scouting, there are some few things that you also need to note when it comes to fighting pepper weevil. 1. Scouting for pepper weevil should begin prior to flowering. Scouting involves looking for adult weevils through visual examination of plants or the use of pheromone-baited yellow sticky traps. Traps should be placed around the perimeter of the field at canopy height. Traps should be checked twice a week, more often if pepper weevils are known to be present in the area. The yellow sticky traps will capture other insects, including other weevil species, so it is important the person checking the traps knows how to correctly identify pepper weevils. The second thing to note is treatments with the insecticides registered for management for pepper weevil on pepper should start when the first weevil has been captured. Don't wait. The third thing, scouting can also be done by visual inspection of the terminal buds of the pepper plants, looking for adult weevils. Scouting should be done in the morning when weevils are present in higher numbers. Don't wait for the sun to come out. Number 4, plants should be evaluated twice a week as damaged birds abort and fall off the plants after a few days. 5. When using insecticides, insecticides are only effective against the adult stage of the weevil because immature stages of the weevil are protected within the birds of fruit. 6. Rotate the use of insecticides with different modes of action to delay the development of the insecticide resistance in the pepper weevil population. Then 7th thing you can also do or observe, many of the recommended insecticides are toxic to bees. So be careful and prevent the direct spraying of blooming crops where bees are foraging, because this can cause you to have little to less produces. So that has been the pepper weevil. I hope I have been able to explain to you more of what you need to know about pepper weevil, how to detect pepper weevil, how to treat pepper weevil, how to fight back pepper weevil, the things you should watch out for when fighting back pepper weevil, and how to be able to rid pepper weevil out, to rid your plantation of pepper weevil. This is all about pepper weevil today. The next time we're going to be looking at pepper hornworms. I'll see you. Next time we're going to be looking at pepper hornworms. Keep growing healthy fruits.